YouTube, what is good? Today we got something special, man. We got my guy Malik here. He's been woofing for how long would you say was the last time you cut it down?
Man, I'd probably say
a few months. Few months. So as you can see, this is gonna be a crazy transformation. We're gonna knock it down to a 3 with a nice drop fade. So let's get into it. So before you cut down a woof, you want to figure out his direction of his wave so that way you don't cause any patches. So as you can see right here is where his crown is, but I'm gonna go through and make sure that it's all lifted before we come in with that 3. All right, so we went ahead and put our 3 guard on our clipper with the lever closed, and we're gonna go ahead and knock this down. So we're gonna start right at the crown, and we're just gonna follow the direction of his waves. Being very careful here. You don't want to, rush this part. You booked this back in January, I seen, ain't it? Yeah. This be so satisfying, man, cutting down long hair like that.
Feel it falling off. Feel that weight lifted.
Confidence about to be through the roof.
Yes, sir.
You got any siblings?
Yeah, I got a lot.
Really?
I got a whole lot.
So we're still just going with the grain here, taking our time, making sure that we do truly get this to a 3 with the grain. Now, one thing I like to do after I initially take it down is I'm gonna go through with my blow dryer and comb to get all the hair out and relift it. And then I'll go over it again with the 3 guard to make sure that it's all even. So now I'm gonna go over it once again just to make sure, like I said, that it's even. Bro, I didn't get it before. What was I thinking? What the heck was I thinking, bro? Yeah, the after's still gonna be fire, but that's what make people click it. What was I thinking? I'm gonna have to finesse something. I was so excited to start it.
Right.
I'm gonna put it back on real quick.
Yeah, toss it back up there right quick. Just let it sit there.
So this is how the hair looks after we knock it down to a 3. Obviously before it's laid down again. But before we lay it down, we're gonna go ahead and get into the fade. So I'm gonna come in with my 2 guard with the lever open. And this is just gonna be to debulk, where we want the blend to be. So that way we have a nice clean canvas to work with. So we're gonna come in with that 2 guard lever open. We're just gonna go ahead and debulk around the areas we wanna establish the lines. So as you can see, when I come in, I'm coming in and then flaring out as I get toward the top, kind of like that C motion, because we don't want to create any harsh lines here. We're gonna go ahead and do the same thing on this side. So as you can see, I kept that 2 guard low because I didn't want to risk taking it up too high. So now we're gonna come in with our trimmer and we're gonna establish our first guideline where we drop it around the ear and towards the back. So I like to start the line right at the end of the eyebrow because that still allows enough room for this arch area to be dark when we go ahead and line it up. So I'm gonna start right here. Go ahead and slope it around the ear. And after we establish this line, I always like to come to the back and establish what I want my lowest point to be. And this will help me stay symmetrical as well. And now we have those 2 reference points that we can meet in the middle. Names to this song be so funny, bro. Yeah, on TikTok, that's a dude. Sure, it's good. Keep it that way, man. It'd be a headache anyway.
Yeah, this is true.
Why, you deleted them though?
Yep.
So now we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing on this side where we slope it around the ear. So now to start this blend, I'm gonna come in with my lever all the way open, and we're gonna go up about a finger's width here. Still maintaining that same shape that we created with that first line. Now to get rid of this line in between, I'm gonna come in with my lever closed, and then I'm gonna attack this line and I open it up little by little. So I'm gonna come in close right here. So after we do close, we're gonna go a quarter of the way, doing that same thing. Being careful not to go to the top of that line, but staying right under it. Now we're gonna go fully open, and this should pretty much get rid of that line. And now we're gonna come in with that one guard lever open, doing that same thing, a finger's width. We're gonna bring that around the back. Now I'm gonna go against the grain right here because this hair is kind of growing sideways. Now we'll close that one guard all the way, and we're gonna lighten up that line in between here. Your kids and stuff. How old are they again? Alright, now we're gonna come in with that 2-guard lever open, and this should be the biggest guard that we use, and we're gonna go up about a finger's width above that. And you want to make sure, especially with this, style waves, that you brush or comb in between every pass of the clipper, because when you go to cut it, you lift the hair up and it tends to stay. So you want to make sure that you lay it back down. Now I'm gonna turn that 2-guard open around and go with the grain, and this should blend right into that 3 that we already took the hair down to. And it's just to lay everything down. Now we'll go ahead and close that lever and continue to go with the grain. And for this line right here that is very faint, to get rid of it, I'm gonna come in with that 1.5 lever open, and then I'll close it little by little as needed. Now I'll close it all the way. And I'm gonna go with the grain on this 1.5 as well.
I'll be up. I'm a night owl.
Yeah. Now to get rid of this last line that you see right here, I'm gonna start off with my 1/2 guard open, and then I'll close it little by little. So I'm open right here, and then I'll close it halfway. So you can see that size blending. Now we got this area right here, which is slightly denser than any other area because you see it's starting to swirl. So we're still gonna attack that open. Now we'll close it halfway. Now we'll close it all the way. You can see that it's starting to lighten up little by little. So now I'm gonna use the corner of the blade to go ahead and detail any of the dark areas that I see. And this is really what separates your haircut from everyone else's, is this portion right here. Because most people, once they finish their steps, you know, that's it. They don't really go back and do any cleanup work. But, you know, being the barbers we are, we're gonna take our time, go back in detail. So as you can see, this fade is coming together nicely. Once we put the line on it, it'll really come together. So we completed this side already. As you can see, super clean. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna wet the hair just a little bit and kind of work that in. And now I'm gonna take a very, very light pomade a little under a dime size. And we're gonna go ahead and work that in the hair. Not trying to put too much on the hairline because we still have to line that up. But we want to get all the rest of it nice and laid down to make his waves look, you know, as they should. So now I'm gonna have him put the do-rag on because I'm sure he puts it on better than I do. Because I never had to wear one. So, all right. Once we got, you know, the do-rag on, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take this hand massager here. And this is just gonna stimulate the scalp enough to get his hair, you know, to lay down a little better. And that's all we're trying to do here is just lay his hair back down. As you can see, took it off weird as heck. So as you can see though, the waves is definitely in there. The lighting a little bit off, but the waves is definitely in there. But we're gonna go ahead and do the lineup and finish this cut. So for the lineup, we're gonna start in the middle of his hairline and then work towards the left or right. In this case, I'm gonna work towards his right first. So now we're just moving into that corner, trying to keep it as natural as possible, but at the same time get as sharp as possible. Now we're gonna start with his box. And now we're gonna go ahead and line up his arch. So you wanna start at the top of his arch and the bottom of his arch, and then meet those 2 points in the middle. So we'll go ahead and start right here. Now we'll go to the bottom. Now we're gonna come over to his right side and do the same thing. So he has a pretty easy hairline. We're just following the natural one. We're just gonna sharpen it up a little bit. So now we're gonna go to the top of the arch. And we'll go to the bottom. After we complete the hairline, I'm gonna go ahead and recline him back to get him ready with the razor. Now you finally get to take a nap. Ready?
Yeah, all right.
So when using the razor, you always want to make sure that you stretch the skin in the opposite direction of which you're using it, because, you know, you don't want to cut them or cause, you know, too much irritation. But all the razor is going to do is get those little hairs that the, you know, the trimmer couldn't get, and take that haircut to another level. And we are keeping this haircut natural, so we're going to leave it just as is. And as you can see, his hair doesn't really need it either. YouTube, this is the cut. You guys already saw how he came in, and this is how he's leaving. Totally different person, man. This is your first time here. How was the cut?
This cut was fantastic.
Yes, sir. So I appreciate you guys, like always, sticking around. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I will catch y'all next time. Peace.